Hello everyone, and welcome back to Heroes of Might and Magic 3. Taking a small break because of my brain exploding today at our darker purpose and what was probably a really bad run. Oh my god, so bad. So we're going to geek out a bit. We're playing the Barbarians. Now, I remember telling you the Warlock was really good in Heroes. It's true. The Warlock was really good because it was Hydra. But do you know who was second best? The Barbarian. The Ogres and Trolls made Barbarians just incredibly cheap. And if they got up next to you, you were basically gone. It's still the same. Not much has changed for the Barbarians. If you get up next to them, you're basically history. Although they focus more on goblinoid-like creatures now. Okay. As you can see here with the goblins and the wolf riders, your attacks do a lot of damage, but you have almost no defense. This isn't as bad as it sounds, because with enough attack, you can kill things without losing too many of your units. It always irks me how they seem to always run away and run around things when they have the movement speed. Dang you, computer. Stay still and let me pummel you. Anyway, we're playing as Craghack, probably the most notable of the Barbarians. He was not the ruler. If I said anything to the contrary in the last video, I apologize. He's just the guy I always remember. Craghack is one tough mother. Well, father. And he's been through a lot. He's usually whoever you play as in any Might and Magic games. There'll be a Barbarian in your group and his name will be Craghack. This is just a synonymous thing. He's always there because he kicks much butt. Unlike other Barbarians, Craghack is actually kind of a strategist. He knows where to hit people where it hurts. He's not above a good brawl, though. Expert offense. But let's talk more about the Barbarians before Craghack's time, because we'll have enough time to talk about Craghack. Well, I'll get into detail on some of these people when we see them in campaign. But let's talk about the Barbarians before Craghack. Back in Heroes, Lord Slayer was the name of the ruler of the Barbarians. Oh my god, there's a bunch of sulfur pits here. If I were a warlock, I'd be really happy right now, but I'm not. I knew I'd be missing wood. It's really weird, didn't I take a wood pile? I did. Okay. Anyway, Lord Slayer was in charge, and he was the toughest guy ever. His attacks could crack through shields, and oh my god, he could rout armies almost single-handedly. It seems that we have neighbors. Barbarians. Or, not Barbarians, the dungeon. Well, if they want to fight, they can fight. They aren't going to win, but they can, you know, they can run into us and crash against our shores if they want to. Somebody's not very confident. He has good reason not to be. But let's take him out. Because if we leave him alone, he'll just get bigger. Now here's how we're going to do this. The harpies, I'm not really worried about. I'm worried about the evil eye in the back, the beholder. And he's already spent, yeah, he's a warlord, so he never came with a lot of spells, but he already spent them if he did anyway. Wait, let's see where this goes. I don't mind the harpies because they bounce back and forth. And, they're gonna kill my wolves. I mean, that was a given. 48 troglodytes versus 8 wolves, it's kind of a massacre. In fact, this might not be been the best choice of a fight, but I wasn't really given much other option. So I'm going to retreat and pull up stake. On the plus side, I already know where he is and I know how wounded he is. Retreating is always an option to bring you back and give you your second chance at life. I suggest that it's almost always done, especially whenever you are a hero who might have some improvements done on them, such as Craig Hack here. Anyway, I gotta run back out there. As a barbarian, my pride has been wounded, and I shall not stand for it. Come here, Dace. He gained 1 knowledge. We already know that from his trek into the flowery grave up there. But it's not going to help him. Not this time. This time those troglodytes are going down. He had me with numbers before. I have him with numbers this time. He's not even going to get a chance to run. There. Anyway, now that we've got our revenge, back to talking about Lord Slayer. Lord Slayer had a reputation to being the toughest guy ever. In terms of might. Okay? This isn't in terms of anything other than how big of a hole the man could punch through you. Don't get me wrong, it was a pretty big hole. I mean, you have to think anyone named Lord Slayer, he got that name for reasons. Now, the other thing about Lord Slayer was that he had at his command one of the more powerful units at the time, the Cyclops. The Cyclops was a powerful physical unit because it also paralyzed. And paralyzation was an incredible boon to anyone who could use it. Especially if you could use it effectively and often enough. Unlike blind, it lasted, well, not lasted, but it was more annoying. Blind, you hit somebody and they're unblinded, and then they retaliate. Paralyzed was the improved version of blind, which just caused too many complications to matter. Darkstorm has few and lots. We're going after him. He has magic, yes we know. We just can't have all these warlocks running around on our area. You can see now that the barbarians have this thing called a behemoth. It reminds me of the Terrask from Dungeons and Dragons. It's very reminiscent of it. Oh, he's wasted his last magic arrow. Well, that's it for him, though. He might as well just run away now. Oh, he attacked. Well, he lost his chance. Anyway, those are the new ogres. They still retain their ability to kick butt, but at a much less. Look, somebody else had the same idea I had. Get off my land, right? They still retain their ability to kick butt, but at a slower pace. This is mainly due to the increase of how far the distance is in the field now. Anyway, back to Lord Slayer. He was beaten by Lord Iron Fist back in the First War. Which that doesn't come as any surprise. Everybody was beaten by Lord Iron Fist. Everybody. And therefore, he was absorbed into the Union. He didn't like it too much. Barbarians and Knights are basically a polar opposite of each other, with one regarding unity and order, as opposed to the other one being more of a I'm big, I can smash you, that thing's mine. I guess you could say it's like a law and chaos thing going on. They don't usually get together. Trolls, which have been greatly neutered in the games now. They used to be somewhat of a excuse me, somewhat of a pain to deal with. They were archers that threw rocks, and when they threw that rock, it hurt, and they regenerated their health when you weren't attacking them. So you basically had an archer that could sit there and take X amount of damage. And if you didn't kill him before the X amount of damage was done, he was just back up on his feet. Just like that. I did expect resistance. I didn't expect them to have nothing in here. That's kind of funny. but hey, I gotta say, either left me open for something or not. Anyway, in a quick confrontation, Barbarians win. They can get their final creature, the Behemoth, in less than 5 days. If they get it, they don't even need that good of resources. You know what they need the most of? Wood. Whoever heard of somebody's ultimate final thing needing enough wood? Even the knight needs crystals. Although maybe that's just to make the big stained glass windows, which nobody cares about. Anyway, with the dungeon in our possession, we've already controlled this entire island. We basically rule here. Anyone who thinks differently can talk to my behemoths and quickly learn that they're wrong. They might be thinking that the only reason I was able to get behemoths within the first week was because I'm on easy just to show you guys stuff. It's not totally true. It's easier because I'm on easy. But you can still move fast enough to get behemoths even on normal. On hard, you might actually have a problem getting them in your first week. But anything below that and you're sitting pretty. Let's see. Let's go to City Hall in here. You may have noticed that I haven't bought any units, and by that I mean I haven't bought any from like my actual castle this entire time, or well, since week 2. And that's just because I'm kind of a slow build right now. Working my way up. Hello, cat. I'd ask if I could help you, but I already know I can't. So, we can't really go that in depth as I did with Warlocks, mainly because with Barbarians, I never really liked them. The Warlocks were always my choice. The Warlocks, the Mages, the Sorceresses. I liked them. They were always much more powerful. I preferred magic over might in this game, we'll just say. Although, you know, when push comes to shove, if you shove hard enough, I think you already understand the position with how fast I'm just dismantling people. I gotta say that the best Barbarian for my take in this part of the series is a man named Dasa. Now, Dasa's best thing is that he has logistics, which is just the it's the practice of moving fast. That's it. He practices moving quickly and covering a lot of ground with that movement. Why is this so powerful? Well, when you get up right to it, the one thing you don't want as a barbarian is to chase people down. You don't want to spend a whole ton of time trying to chase another guy down. You want to get in, hit them, and come back. With Dasa, you will begin to have more movement range per turn than another player. Which immediately makes you a threat. Even if your army doesn't immediately make you a threat, the fact that you can gather more resources, move farther, move faster than any other person on the map makes you a pain to deal with. I'm not too worried about the Wolf Raiders. They serve their purpose to be my shield. If you play long enough, you'll begin to start noticing that the computer has a tendency to attack certain units first and then the next unit next. This doesn't really change. Ever. In fact, when you even get to the higher difficulties, the computer can still do this. It'll usually always target either your second or first unit as long as they're huge. There's a ton of them. He'll look at it and he'll say, "Oh dang, those things move fast and deal a lot of damage. I should kill them." Especially wolf raiders. Wolf raiders just, they scream, "Shoot me." And they do this very loudly. Mainly because they're the only unit in the Barbarian hordes that has the special ability to attack twice. They hit, you hit them back, they hit you again. It's very reminiscent of the wolves in the first Heroes Might and Magic game. The Barbarians' wolves could also very easily take you out. They were one of the fastest units in the game, with a high move speed, so they could get to you quick. And they attacked twice. With enough attack behind them, you stood no chance. Now you may be thinking that I'm kind of missing out by not attacking all these guys. Especially the oh, Tan's gone. Weaker units that I can just take out. I'm not missing much. I'm missing a bit of experience. But I can always make it up. And sometimes it's not the experience that really matters with the hero. It's your army. True, if I were to fight a hero that was so much more experienced than me in defense and spell power, I'd be screwed. But in terms of a fight just outright with might versus might, I'd do pretty good. And right now I've got to lay my claim to this area as fast as I can. The more of this area I take over, the more I can keep myself ready. My resource silo. Even the resource silo doesn't produce crystal. It produces wood and ore. How much wood do you need? The answer is probably not much and never enough. 40 obsidian gargoyles. I'll buy them. They'll be useful. Alright, now I'm at the time of either do I upgrade my behemoths or get Cyclops. Cyclops are the ranged unit. They took the place of the trolls. But they can also act as a second catapult, which is really great. Unfortunately, I'm not in that mood right now. Ancient behemoths are much better. So, as it stands right now, I'm probably the strongest person in the land. We could even check in the Thieves Guild. Let's see, we've got wizards, demons, wizards, dungeons. That's all that's left of here. Where do I stand? I have the most wood and ore, the most number of towns. I'm very low in the number of heroes, but that's okay. I'm never really high in that. I just noticed that they didn't even have a color of eyes in that town. That's sad. Expert leadership. I have 12 attack. Everything must die before me. I have knowledge, but no spell power to speak of. Which that's fine. As long as I'm just after enchantments, I'm not really that worried. I don't have any artifacts. An artifact merchant would be nice, but I also don't have any units to guard that castle. I mainly try to keep one hero per castle. That way, I can have somebody defending and somebody attacking. And I never drop too low in the amount of soldiers I have. Alright. We're almost done here. I'm kind of trying to show you guys some cool things. I've already shown you how devastating the Barbarian is by taking over a town that was occupied by nobody because I killed all of his people. Ooh! Those gloves are an instant buy if you see them. See glove, buy glove. Buy that. And I'll spend all my mercury to buy that. Alright! Craig Hack has become quite a powerhouse in a short few seconds. And now, let's go ahead and get the strongest creatures in the game out of the way. Dragons are one of the hands down strongest things you can ever have. Second only to, well, Titans. And that's only because Titans kind of cheat. How do Titans cheat, you ask? Well, they throw things. And let's face it, what kind of guy are you? You throw stuff at me? Ugh. Those are the black dragons. Black dragons are very deeply rooted in lore of heroes. Okay? They are the strongest creatures and have been the strongest creatures for a while. I wish I could just upgrade everything with 2 clicks instead of having to go through everything and upgrade it. You need upgrading, yes. Alright, so we're about ready to start our plunder and pillaging. You know, the best thing is we don't need any of this wooden ore anymore. You might be wondering, hey, why don't I buy more archers? Or why don't I buy more ogre mages? The simple answer is I don't need them. Ogre mages are great. They do a lot of damage. But let's face it, somebody has to get close enough for them to fight. These black dragons will do just fine. As will the hundreds of behemoths that I have. We're going to show you an actual real fight because enough of this baby fights, right? We threw almost nothing at you. usual rule, I would never have taken the experience or taken the experience. That it's only 500. Usually you take the gold for 500, but to make up for me not fighting so many people. Now I have the Tome of the Earth, which really is pinning me for, or making fun of me for not taking Earth Magic from before. Let's see, these Hellhounds want to join me, that's fine. I have enough leadership that I can technically take the Hellhounds and not care. Rib cage, more experience, got these crystals. This is Pink's Island, apparently. Hi, Pink. We're here for you. You fly my flag. The purple and gold. He's the strongest guy of the Pinks. So let's deal with him. He's a magic user, which means that already he has somewhat of an advantage against me. Just in terms of spells. At least that was before I grabbed the Tome of Earth, which gives me all spells that are associated with Earth. Everything is so big and explodey, and I just love it. So we're going to do Implosion. And I just can't decide who to do it to. These big eyes. Now I know Implosion doesn't look like much. It just looks more like lava, like magma or something. Not a implosion that I know of. As you can see, he's losing pretty badly. Another thing about dragons is they are immune to all magic. It includes beneficial magic, but hey, when you're that strong, sometimes you don't need the buffs. It's computer committing suicide. I don't even need to worry about the water elementals because they're just standing right there in front of the things that will be their doom. The behemoth. In the meantime, you may be wondering, why did I resurrect the wolves and not like my birds, which are much more important than the wolves? Well, it's because my resurrection's so low that they aren't going to stay after the fight anyway. See, they still die. They only came back to say, hey, that guy hit me, and to, you know, payback time. Let's get rid of the Hourglass of the Evil Hour. I like getting luck. Seriously, just running over everyone. Let's put the Hellhounds in here. They won't survive if they get attacked by anybody because... See? No, I can't understand why this wasn't their strongest guy. He's got 41 energy elementals, 26... Everything of his is upgraded. Luckily for us, though, we're gonna cause him to use up some of his magic points before he actually gets to us. He could have probably taken this out without using any magic, but apparently he thinks that that's very uncool. Let's see if this breaks. I was hoping him to do another bless. Alright, anyway. We have two choices. we can take out the castle first, and then him, or him and then the castle. I'm going to take out him, then the castle. It's much more effective for what I'm trying to do. The waiting game is a very good game to play with the computer, because the computer will move everything into a position that is both silly and, well, you don't need much more than silly to describe it. The blind was a good touch, but it's not going to be there for long. What was his spell power? 1? So all of his stuff also lasts for only 1 turn, just like mine. Now here comes the actual fight. Not much of a fight. Nope. Next page. Plus them. We'll take over this castle, and then that'll probably be it for this episode. Showing off the barbarians and their powerful creatures. By the way, if you can't get up to behemoths in your first week, that's nothing against you, or anything like that, but you should always probably then aim for thunderbirds, which are the second most powerful creature. I was hoping that the thunderbird would show off why it's the second most powerful creature, but apparently he's shot. The reason why the Thunderbird is so strong is that when it hits, it has a special ability to cast lightning down on the guy who it hits. The lightning bolt is 10 damage for every Thunderbird there is. Which, if you can do the math, that's a lot of damage after a while, right? Look at that. And now the castle. It's a capital, which means it's got 3 ramparts that we have to deal with. This will be the first castle siege you guys have seen. As you can see, the catapult is less than reliable. If you don't have any ballistics training, it actually can be very horrendous. However, really the only thing you have to do is just wait it out. There's no reason for you to do anything else. Now, it's when you attack castles when big things are in trouble. As you can see, the dragons are only 91 hit points left. If another volley were to come, it'd kill 1 dragon. We can't have that. Wow, they had like nothing. And look. Phoenixes. Or phoenixes. As I use them. Technically, they're only firebirds right now. There you go, now they're phoenixes. Look at that. Oh, God. So yeah, this fight's been over for a while now. I think it's been over ever since I got behemoths. But I've just been dragging it on. Because I like to watch them squirm. I'm missing a shield and boots. We don't have a shield or boots here. Much more pity. Anyway, there's my Barbarian. That's Craig Hack. Meanest mamma jamma ever. If you ever want to just do a fast, quick run, Barbarians are the way to go. Everyone else kind of takes some time to build up. You saw how long it took for me to build up the Warlocks last time. The Barbarians take not as long, but it's not short. Let's just leave it at that. Anyway, I want to thank you guys for watching, and I hope you're enjoying learning about this old game, even though it's not the greatest one there ever was. Well, it was the greatest one from my childhood that I remember on the computer. Mainly because of how dear it was to the family to get together so much around it. Anyway, I want to thank you for being here, and we'll see you in the next one. So long.